Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed dignitaries and respected delegates, a very good morning to you, all of you. We now move into a highly anticipated and profoundly special segment of today's program. As we celebrate the Golden Jubilee, 50 years of excellence of the Department of Imaging Science and Intervention Radiology at Sri Chitra Institute, it is our great privilege to pass and recognize the visionaries who have actually built this foundation here. Today, the Indian Society of Neuroradiology and in collaboration with the Department of IS&IR, Sri Chitra Institute, has organized the session dedicated to honoring a true pioneer of imaging science and intervention radiology, Professor VRK Rao. To begin this momentous occasion, I would like to invite Professor Sanjay Bihari sir, Director of the Institute, to deliver the welcome address. Sir, welcome please.
Thank you. So, very good morning to all of you. I'm really honored and privileged to be at this very momentous occasion, which is the 50-year celebrations of Sri Chitra Tirunelveli Institute for Medical Sciences and Technology. And on this very important and special day, I'm deeply honored and privileged to welcome Professor VRK Rao on this very special day. Ever since I was a resident in neurosurgery, we were closely collaborating with the Department of Neuroradiology, and at that time SGPGI Neuroradiology was one of the best in the country, with two very important people who were trained under him, Dr VRK and Dr Sunil Kumar. And so he is the teacher of my teachers, and I've heard so much about him right from the time that I joined as a resident. So a warm welcome, sir, and thank you very much for coming. He holds the distinct honor of being the first person in India who has started interventional procedures in the country. And this has spawned a revolution in which now everybody is focused not on big open surgical procedures, but on minimally invasive procedures. So not only does he get the credit for being the first person who actually saw the value of minimalism in interventions, but also the first person who started minimally invasive interventions in the entire country. And for that, again, we are all grateful, sir, to you. This is a very special department, and this is actually based on the shoulders of a lot of very illustrious people. So the first intervention was started here. The first epilepsy surgery was started in Sri Chitra, and of course, the Department of Imaging Sciences played a huge part in it. The deep brain stimulation, this is the largest center for deep brain stimulation in the country. For stroke interventions in the appropriate window period, this is the center which is actually doing all these things. In various biomedical devices which have been made, this is the first center which is actually focused on biomedical devices, thanks to Professor Velayathan. And so therefore, it has a very pioneering character, which I think has perpetuated through the generations. And we are all in India privileged to have all these facilities being disseminated across the country. Of late, we have had some very interesting innovations which have come up, and I'd just like to share with you some of them. So we had the second generation Chitra heart valve, which was actually implanted in 42 patients, and they have done very well. We had a pediatric cardiac transplantation, and the child is still doing very well at a follow-up of almost 2 years. We have some very innovative medical devices in terms of stents, which are now being tested in large animals. These are nitinol-based stents which are now being used, both coronary and aortic stents. And we also have the left ventricular assist device, which is also now undergoing animal experimentation. Only about 2 weeks ago, the second generation ventriculoperitoneal shunt, the Seri-Drain system, has been actually has got CDSU approval and this was actually developed along with HLL. And also along with that, we have now some very innovative courses like with ISRO, we are starting a postdoctoral fellowship in bioastronautics for the first time in the country. And we are also starting a center for reference material, a center for digital health technology, and a center for skills in simulation. So all these have been started in the last couple of years, and of course the largest cardiac and neuroscience center which will be established here. And this also has, we have permission for hiring almost 800 permanent staff members for the organization. This permission is already through and we are in the process of actually working on it. I'd like to also, pay my tributes to Dr. Ravi Mandalam, Dr. A.K. Gupta, Dr. Sunil Kumar, Dr. Madhavan Unni, Dr. Santosh Joseph, Dr. Kapila Murthy, Dr. Srinivas Rao, and Dr. Swati Halbi. They are all our teachers, and we are very grateful to all of you for coming here and for honoring us with your esteemed presence. Whatever achievements that we have actually been able to establish here are only based on the very hard work and the innovative nature of what you have done. And we are also very honored to have Dr. Unikrishnan and Dr. Suresh Nair. And Dr. Suresh Nair was, and both of them were also my teachers, so it's a special privilege for me. So there are several senior nursing staff members who are here. And I'm also grateful to all of you for being here. You are our teachers when we are actually working in the wards. And also, you are the face of the hospital. So a doctor sees a patient for only about 1 or 2 minutes in a day, or maybe a little slightly more than that. But it is the nursing staff which actually decides how the public and the patients actually judge the performance of the hospital. And it goes without saying that the nursing staff of Sri Chitra are probably the best in the country. So, what does the future hold for the department, for the Indian Society for Neuroradiology, and for all of us? One important aspect is that it's the decade of the brain, and no field has gained more than interventional neuroradiology in this entire thing, because all the functional imaging, the MR imaging, the structural imaging, the contour fit programs which actually combine imaging with other functional imaging like PET and SPECT, all of them have now been established, and we actually need to now focus on these important areas to actually guide our interventions. We are actually talking about artificial intelligence all the time, especially for our medical devices. But there's one important area which is very fundamental and basic: how to disseminate and share our data collected over years and decades. The biggest challenges, as far as an administrator I can tell you, the biggest challenge is that we have clinical doctors generating that data. And of course, nursing staff and technical staff and residents who are working day and night to generate that clinical data. And sometimes the people who actually write those clinical papers and who get all the grants have nothing to do with the data. So what should be an equitable way of disseminating the data so that it does not hamper progress and yet gives equal it gives an equal opportunity for everybody to be acknowledged in the data sharing business. The other important thing is, one important area which we as doctors are not really focusing on is, lay public education. We are allowing all our administration and rules and regulations to be controlled by people who have absolutely no idea about medicine. And we think that, okay, we are super specialists and we need to, just do our patient care and not really care about these important aspects. But we have to become more aggressive, we have to become more knowledgeable about law, about administration, about how India functions as a whole now, how the ecosystem of medical education is changing across the country, and what is expected from us as super specialist clinicians. And we need to do this simply because if we don't do this, then we are losing out without knowing that we are losing out to people who have no idea about medicine and are yet involved in all the decision making of medicine. So this is an important thing. Another very important aspect that we actually need to focus upon in our training relates to daycare procedures and small procedures and private practice. So we in institutes, because it's a prestigious institute, so the best of residents from all over the country come to all our prestigious institutes. But 80% of them will actually go into private practice, and some of them will not get into major institutions. So some part of our curriculum has to be focused on this important aspect that we need to look at. The other important thing is that there was a small, we had done for neurosurgery, all the residents had given a poll on what they want in medical education. And all of them said a very interesting thing. They said, we don't want any lectures. We only want hands-on training, and we don't want any didactic lectures where long, boring PowerPoint lectures go on for ages. What we want are tools and techniques and immersive involvement in all the procedures that we are doing. And that also includes involvement in medical simulation. And I'm glad that the department has brought out some important areas of medical simulation, but this also needs to be focused upon and at a very, very important area. And one more area which really we need to focus upon is, very basic sciences like genomics, proteomics, biomaterials. We focus on biomedical device development, but every biomedical device is actually constrained by biomaterials. And that's what we actually need to focus upon. So these are some important challenges, and when we actually plan for the future, so that the medical progression that we do will automatically come based on our expertise. But unless we make a dedicated and a conscious effort to get into areas which make us extremely uncomfortable and which actually involve other players who we have no idea what they're doing in their own respective fields, we will gradually lose out over a period of time. So thank you very much. It's a great honor to be in the midst of such august audience. And some of them are my teachers, and of course, all the relatives of Dr. Rao who are also here. We are deeply honored that all of you are here. And of course, the residents, the alumni, and the nursing staff who are here, thank you very much for being here. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for those welcoming words. Next, it's a great honor to invite the President of Indian Society of Neuroradiology, Professor Matthew Cherian, sir, Chief of Radiology Services at KMCH Coimbatore, to deliver his address. Please welcome.
And I welcome you on behalf of the Indian Society of Neuroradiology. So, why are we having this meeting and why at Trivandrum? So, one of the first things I did when I took over as the president of this 25-year-old society was to establish a gold medal for people who have contributed enormously to the field of neuroradiology. And we decided that we would be choosing people across institutions who transformed the way neuroradiology is practiced in this part of the country. And today, we are considered among the best in the field of neurointervention and neuroradiology across the globe. The society was started 25 years ago, almost parallelly along with the Indian Society of Vascular Interventional Radiology, but yet it took us 25 years to establish this gold medal, and we are excited that the first of this gold medal is being received by Professor VRK Rao. So, unlike typically how gold medals are given, we consciously took a decision to ask these pioneers, where would you like to receive the medal? It could be given at the annual conference of the society, or would you like to choose a place where you think that you would feel honored? And Professor VRK Rao wanted this to be given at Sri Chitra Tirunal, and which is the most apt place. Dr. Rao came to SCT in 1977. Now 1977, if you look back, it's like 50 years ago. Neuroradiology itself could not have even been conceived as a subspecialty. Even today, there are just a handful of centers in the country where neuroradiology is practiced as a subspecialty. When I joined here for my postdoctoral in the year 1990, even then, that is, like Dr. Rao has been there now for about 23 years, 17, how does it work? 20, not 23, 17 years, 13 years rather. Even then, the technology that they were using was so primitive. It was terrifying actually to, I'm just calculating once again in my mind, it's 23, I'm sorry. Huh? Yeah. 13? No, 77 plus 3, 80, 20, I had 90, yeah, 13, I'm right. So, you know, I can't imagine how things were done. Today would be terrified to do it. When Dr. Rao started, there was a very basic image intensifier system, and that's where CCFs were being treated. We did not have any hardware at that time. They used to have celastic threads and latex balloons, and Dr. Santosh was his key henchman, the man who used to make the weapons of destruction or productivity would depend on his luck would go. And together this team used to do things and plan things, and finally people used to go back alive. Seriously, they did live and they did go. We did not have digital subtraction angiography. They used to manually do subtraction, a concept that nobody can think. They should take a plain X-ray, take an angio X-ray, put the films together. I seriously do not even know. And how anybody could even conceive that such things could be done so long ago. Today, decades down the line, 50 years down, technology has gone so far. You know, seeing neurointervention to me virtually was a terrifying thing, you know. Terrifying because I think, gosh, how many of these people will survive? Complication rates were high. Most people, I used to wonder, would die probably just doing the procedures, and procedures would take hours and hours and hours. Microcatheters never used to go up the brain in minutes as we do now. And I always remember the story of Dr. Rao once asking, has the patient been catheterized? You know, it was 4 hours. And a sister baby said, what about me, sister, doctor? She said, even I need a catheter because you have no concept on time, you know. They used to be so long. And there was those, I still remember the time when Dr. VRK Rao, again a pioneer in the treatment of vein of Galen malformations. I was a young student and I suddenly heard a war whoop of a man screaming with his hands up. What actually happened was he had injected glue, and miraculously the glue stopped at the right spot. The guy was healed. Imagine the sorrow when the glue did not stop at the right spot. You wouldn't have that kid anymore. I still remember the time we had a CCF and the balloons were deployed and Some of them didn't really stay where they were meant to stay. That young boy would die. And we had the privilege or the agony of actually taking this young boy for autopsy. And I thought that Dr. Rao was so cool about it because he didn't flinch, he didn't say anything. He only told us stay awake the whole night by the side of the patient. We had to do it because he asked us, we knew there was no hope. And then one day there was a party, and after a couple of drinks, he started almost weeping. It's not easy. It's not easy when people die. Nobody understands that. I hate the word when somebody comes and tells me, doctors have a license to kill. No. We cry and we cry and we cry in the darkness of the night with tears that nobody sees. But does that mean we stop? We don't. I can imagine the struggle that Dr. Rao would have taken to bring a specialty from nothing to maturity. I still feel sad the fact that he left just when we were peaking up and he went to the Middle East. It was right on the point of the greatest takeoff. And of course he tried it back in the Middle East, came back and rebuilt neurointervention and interventional radiology at Manipal, and then would come back to his state, Andhra Pradesh. Why am I talking to you about this today? Of course, he published extensively. He had phenomenal publications on vein of Callan malformation, on spinal AVMs. He was a great teacher, he was a great scientist. He was, I don't know if you know, a great actor too. He acted in a Telugu movie. Yeah, and that time he had a pipe in his hand. He was a multi-talented man, dressed well, dressed very smartly, spoke well, but more than anything, he was a dreamer, right? For some reason, my wife was singing this. She's in the back. For some reason, she didn't want her to come in the front. And she was singing this song, don't fall in love with the dreamer. And you must fall in love with the dreamer. The world is transformed by dreamers. It is not by people who don't dream. His dream at that point was probably much bigger than what the institution could offer because we didn't have technology. But it is that dream that started in 1997 that gave birth to every single thing that the director was talking today, that we were the first. It was that dream. We were the first to set up a postdoctoral course, the first to set up a DM course where interventional radiology was taught at apex level. And even today, the legacy of Dr. Rao is seen among the students he produced, and I'm one of them. And they have gone all over the country and all across the world, transforming those places to become centers of excellence. And that's what I keep telling, if you don't teach, you're dead. The only legacy that you leave behind in this world is the ability that you have to teach, to transpire, and to inspire. The great thing with Dr. Rao was also the openness he had to listen to suggestions. I still remember one day I was walking back with him and going towards that the quarters that are there down there, the crazy place with dogs chasing you. It was good to have Dr. Rao. And he would listen to all those things I was talking about, what I would read up, and I was thinking whether we should be treating diseases this way. Sounds very primitive. He never looked down at you because you were a couple of years younger and that he was this big doyen of neurointervention. And I realized it's so important to listen. You listen and you learn. Sometimes the best of ideas come from the cath lab sisters or the people who work with us. Some of them are here today. I was so excited seeing some of the people from those times, with us, the sisters who stood with us and who helped us and told us do it fast before the consultant comes, right? I still wish I could tell you some of those jokes that Dr. Rao said, which I cannot. His language also could be pretty colorful, among many, many other things. I still don't know, Dr. Rao, if you remember the story of how Professor Raut had asked me to take some films using a specific kind of filter called Sobel, And he came and told me that, why are you doing this? I said, Dr. Raut asked me to get these films done. And he said, why don't you tell Raut that the audience will laugh with a certain part of their anatomy, which I don't want to mention here. But the most important thing was, I told that to Dr. Gupta, and Dr. Gupta thought, was it the internal os or the external os, you know? We always talked that joke. He was the most innocent of the people in that team. I remember Santosh Joseph, Dr. Unni, Srinivas Rao, everybody used to be the team that stood behind and cheered Dr. Rao to save or to kill, you know. Sometimes the case was difficult. You just got to say, Dr. Rao, I know you can do it, you know. But at the end of the day, I still think they were the best days of my life. When science of neurointervention was more of an art than science. We didn't have information. We did not know diseases well. But yet we went through paths that nobody wanted to take. So this gold medal is a celebration of a pioneer, a celebration of a leader, a celebration of a person who could think way ahead of his time. Maybe you didn't see the fruit of everything as you worked, but today you see what you started as a small spark is a fire. A fire that cannot be contained, which is spread from just not to the metros and the two-tier cities, even in smaller cities, even in the villages of this country, today neurointervention is possible. And it's all started because one man said it is possible. So thank you so much, and I would like to award this award. I want to call Naveen, the General Secretary of the Society, to please come forward. So I also would like to ask Naveen to read the citation. And as we give the gold medal today, I want all the dignitaries to stand up. And believe me, I want to assure you, this is probably the finest gold medal created by any society. I have a friend of mine who is the world's 4th largest manufacturer of gold jewelry. So he has done it beautifully, plated in 24 karat gold. So I will ask Naveen to read the citation. Every word of it is true. We have not created just to make this something. Also, I would like to call some of the senior faculty from Sri Chitra who was here during that time, which is Santosh, Unni, Keshav, people who are with Dr. Rao. Can you just read the citation? Okay. So, this is the citation, and may I read it? The Indian Society of Neuroradiology, the highest honor, the Gold Medal 2026, conferred with profound respect and distinction upon Professor VRK Rao, Prof, former head of the department, Sri Chitra Tirunal, for Medical Sciences and Technology, Thiruvananthapuram, the vanguard of neurointervention. At a time when the discipline of interventional neuroradiology was practically non-existent in the country, Professor VRK Rao stepped forward to script its own genesis. During his illustrious tenure as the head of the department of the prestigious Sri Chitra Tirunal Institute of Medical Science and Technology, Trivandrum, he built an enduring legacy of clinical excellence, transforming the institution into the nation's premier referral hub for complex vascular and neurological anomalies. A legacy of indigenous innovation, Professor Rao's genius lay in his visionary ability to bridge medicine, advanced technology and engineering. Driven by a fierce spirit of medical self-reliance, he collaborated extensively with indigenous scientists to design and develop homegrown embolic material. And that was the hydrogel, which is today commercially sold as Embosphere. From standardizing pioneering detachable balloon techniques for carotid cavernous fissulas, to developing native stainless steel spring coils, to biocompatible hydrogel microspheres, his work democratized complex neurovascular care across India long before international technology became widely accessible. Beyond his monumental clinical breakthroughs and an extensive portfolio of peer-reviewed scientific publication, Professor Rao's true legacy resides in the generation of radiologists he has so tirelessly mentored. His sharp diagnostic insight, uncompromising clinical rigor, and profound empathetic approach to patient care have shaped the foundational pillars of neuroimaging and neurointervention across the subcontinent. In recognition of his foundational breakthroughs, his spirit of indigenous medical innovation, and his lifetime of dedicated service towards placing Indian radiology in the global map, presented on the 11th of July 2026 at the Sri Chitra Tirunal Institute for Medical Sciences and Technology.
So I was into orthopedics and left orthopedics, joined radiology. I really wanted, why did I come to radiology? I was a patient guy. I wanted to be with patients. When Rao sir came as the head of the department for us, he changed the entire scenario at Manipal. We started admitting patients. We started, it was high-end stuff we got, and then I saw a light, I have got something in radiology, clinical in radiology. And that is the time when I eased. Otherwise, I was planning to quit radiology and leave and go back and do orthopedics again. So it was Rao sir who we saw as a future, and I learned my first angiogram in my second year of MD from Rao sir. He was such a, he first taught me how to do an angiogram. Then the second case was, just go and do the angiogram. I'm sitting outside, you do the angiogram. So such was the confidence he had in his students. And from then, I took up intervention neuroradiology. I would have come to Chitra, but I went to PGI. And once I finished, Rao sir was the first person I informed that, sir, I've cleared my DM. And the next moment he said, you are not supposed to go anywhere. Go to SRMC, be with Dr. Santosh, learn the grade, more with him. And then finally, I am at my own place in Belgaum. And it's all because of Rao sir, who instilled the vision in us of intervention neuroradiology when it was not existing in Manipal actually. So he was there, he lit the light in us. And after that, there are so many people, my younger colleagues who have finished the DM from Manipal. So who have ventured into doing DM neuroradiology. And it's a great tribute to sir as a student, and he has been always a big mentor for me. And thank you, sir. Thank you once.
Thank you, Professor Cherian sir. It was an inspiring and thrilling story to know the commander, how he won war for us on the battlefield, which no one knew so far. Thanks a lot, sir. And we have now arrived at the pinnacle of this morning ceremony. May I request Professor Rao to kindly be seated at the center of the stage. And I would now like to invite Dr. Sanjay Bihari, sir, Director, and Dr. Jaidevan, sir, Professor and Head of the Radiology Department, to come forward and honor Professor Rao, sir, with the Institute plaque and the traditional Ponada as a token of our deepest respect and gratitude for his monumental contributions towards the Department of Radiology. An institution's legacy is carried forward by its teachers. We will now have a series of short tributes from our esteemed faculty to honor the guiding lights of this department. I would like to invite the following dignitaries to share a few words. Some of them have sent video messages that will be displayed, followed by other esteemed dignitaries.
Thank you, Dr. Kesavadas, for your invitation. Dear friends, it gives me great pleasure to send this recorded message to you on the occasion of the 50th anniversary of Sri Chitrathanal Institute of Medical Sciences, as well as the Department of Radiology of the Institute. I worked in the Institute from the year 1982, when it was into its 6th year of existence, until 1994, and that is 12 years in all. And as I look back after a period of over 30 years now, it was one of the most fruitful and enjoyable and exciting period in my career, working under the leadership of the very inspiring leadership of Professor VRK Rao. And it was a very exciting time when we embarked on the interventional procedures, interventional neuroradiology, embolization, and also vascular interventions, angioplasties, and so on and so forth. And we were ably supported by younger colleagues. After me came Dr. Arun Kumar Gupta, then Dr. Santosh Joseph, Dr. Madhavan Unni, and Dr. Srinivasa Rao. And together we formed a very solid team under the leadership of Professor Rao, VRK Rao. Of course, over a period of time, family compulsions, financial compulsions ultimately led all of us to different pastures overseas, and the team broke up in the mid and late 1990s. But it was a very, very fruitful period. Apart from the work, we also published a lot of interesting and important scientific papers in prestigious journals, both Indian journals and overseas. And I remember with great fondness that particular period of time. I take this opportunity also to pay tribute to the late Professor M.S. Valiathan, who was the director during our working years there. And it was his inspiring leadership and his very visionary outlook that brought up the institute to its current level. And I understand that good work is being continued in the radiology department, and I congratulate Dr. Kesavadas and all the colleagues in the radiology department now. And I am sure that in future years you will continue the good work that was started in those days. And I wish you all the very best on this very auspicious occasion of the 50th anniversary of the Institute and the department. Thank you very much and God bless you all.
Professor Sunil Kumar sir will deliver few words.
Good morning, everyone. My heartiest congratulations on 50th anniversary of the Radiology Department here at Chitra, now known as Imaging Sciences and Intervention Department. Half a century ago, this institute was started to be a beacon of advanced medical science. That vision became a reality because of individuals like Professor VRK Rao. When we trace the evolution of neuroradiology, especially interventional neuroradiology, sir, your name stands tall as one of the true pioneers of interventional neuroradiology in India. You did not just develop the department, you gave it its pioneering soul. It is only befitting that Dr. VRK Rao has been awarded the prestigious Gold Medal by the Indian Society of Neuroradiology. Heartiest congratulations, sir. But sir, you were always more than a brilliant neuroradiologist. You were a true visionary who refused to be limited by what was available. I remember how you looked outside the walls of Chitra, partnering with teams at VSSC to fabricate micromolds, which were the mainstay of treating the keratoconus fistulas then. I also remember that you took the initiative to try and develop indigenous silicon beads and other embolic agents by collaborating with Chitra's biomedical technology wing. I was lucky I was among the initial first few students to join Chitra about 40 years ago. Most of us were just beginning our journey and were mostly freshers in the field, but that did not deter you from making us feel a part of your team. Thank you, sir. Your then students and my colleague, to name a few like Dr. Arun Gupta, Dr. Baltimaya, Dr. R.V. Fadke, Dr. N.L.N. Murthy, Dr. Santosh Joseph, Dr. Madhav Nundi, and Dr. Matthew Cherian are now leaders in their own right. Many others from my time left the country to carry on the legacy abroad, like Dr. Srinivas Rao, Dr. Sumit Roy, Dr. Rajiv Bakuraj. Through them and the departments they now command across India and abroad, they are carrying on the legacy of inspiring and imparting skills to the younger generation. Here at Chitra, Dr. Kapila Murthy, Dr. Keshav Das and Dr. Bijoy, to name a few, and many others have carried on the legacy so well. Thank you, Professor VRK Rao, for your brilliant mind, your generous heart, and for making this department a world-class clinical department of treating, training, and research. Congratulations once again, Rao sir, on the award of ISNR Gold Medal, and thank you.
Sir Srinivas Rao will give few words for us.
Hello all, I am Srinivas Rao here, and I am extremely happy to know that we are celebrating 50th anniversary of our radiology department in Sri Chitra in this month, and we are going to felicitate our beloved Professor VRK Rao on this occasion. A huge congratulations on this event and all the best to all of you. We all know how enthusiastically our Rao sir used to work in the department, and he made us to work as well. And with his unstoppable energy and enthusiasm, he has achieved such laurels to our department and made it as #1 position in our country. And his guidance helped me throughout, and I still remember every day of my working in that department for many years, and we all worked very enjoyably in day-to-day life, and we used to enjoy our work as well. The main reason for this nice atmosphere was our Rao sir. That's undoubted. I wish him all the best, and I will pray God that he has long life and he gets all the energy to fulfill all his hobbies. Among the most memorable events of working with Professor Rao, I still remember how enthusiastic he is about doing the procedures and how dedicated he is. A day before the embolization procedure which we have planned, he used to meet us in the corridor and he says, "Hello Srinivasarao, tomorrow we have a procedure planned at around 8 o'clock. You please prepare all the required things and make ensure that we start the procedure at time." I used to say, "Yes sir, okay, I will do that." Then enthusiastically I ran to the office and start getting the things. By the time I see that already Santosh was on the job and he was preparing the embolization procedure. Then Unni used to come, "Oh guys, you are already started. Rao sir just told me about this case." So that was Professor Rao. That means in his mind that embolization is reeling and he must be dreaming about it the whole night. So that with that enthusiasm, he used to inculcate us, interest in us, and we all worked with a great enthusiasm. With the same kind of enthusiasm, we used to celebrate the post-embolization success in the evenings, and we used to meet in one of our houses and mostly in Sunil Jain's house. This is what I used to remember in the evenings, and it was a joyful occasion and celebrations. Many success stories we had at the time, and I still remember those days very fondly and very encouraging to me. All this credit goes to our beloved Professor Rao and the work atmosphere he created for all of us, for cherished for a long time. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. I really wish that I should have attended this personally, but unfortunately I could not make it. And thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak. Thank you very much.
Professor A.K. Gupta sir will speak. I just wanted to tell one of my own experience. When I joined MD Radiology first time in AFMC Pune and I entered Cath Lab for the first time, the first name I heard was Professor A.K. Gupta sir. So Colonel Atul Mishra sir and Colonel Narendra Jain sir were in the lab, and the only thing they were discussing in the lab during when I joined as first year MD Radiology was about Professor A.K. Gupta sir. So I am already third generation in that way, where who are listening to these names, and now sir will speak few words for all of us.
Good morning to everyone. At the outset, let me thank to the organizers and Department of Imaging Sciences and Interventional Radiology to invite me for this meeting. Due to personal compulsion, I could not make in person to attend the meeting. I am sure the Department of Imaging Sciences and Interventional Radiology must be going strong and providing best possible services to the needy patients. Being a part of the department and the institute, I always feel proud and privileged. Coming to the old memories, going to the flashback nearly 40 years back, when I joined the department on 1st January 1985 as first PDCC candidate. That day I met Dr. Abhimandalam, who took me around the department. Professor VRK Rao was out of station. When Professor Rao came back, he primed me about the department and took me to a department tour, made me acquainted about all the equipments and the working in department. Those days also the department was well equipped. Department already had whole body CT from Hitachi, Japan, first in South India and second in the country. Later biplane DSA 1.5 Tesla MR was added. Subsequently, new equipments were added in the department. Department was one of the best equipped in the country. Professor Rao is a great leader and had always led us from the front. He had imbibed in us that never bend on wrong things, do not budge against wrong demands. He had been very polite, humble but tough taskmaster, always ready to guide us, teach us. He had seen that we must be part of work culture for patient care and must be available anytime, every time when patient needs us. He was always available anytime to guide, discuss and teach us. For me, he is a friend, philosopher and guide. I feel fortunate to be trained and learned under his mentorship. I have learned about diagnostic neuroradiology and interventional neuroradiology from scratch to whatever I am today. He made and placed a rock solid foundation of the department at SCTIMST, under which a lot of his students have made their career. His passion about radiology, neuroradiology and interventional neuroradiology is boundless. I am sure all of those who have been trained with him will agree that he is a great leader, always committed to his work and keen to develop new technique and work for technology. He, along with Dr. Mandalam, has done pioneering work to develop mini balloons, symbolic material, that is hydrogel, custom design coils, prototype stents with help of BMT wing scientists, HLL and Vikram Sarabhai Space Center. A prototype of PAC system was developed in collaboration of ER&DC Trivandrum and CAT Pune. He was working on many projects simultaneously in collaboration of BMT wing. I used to go with him to BMT wing for many animal experiments which were done with support of Dr. Arthur at BMT wing. This way I developed interest in experimental work. He had invited Professor Liu Picard, Professor Jack Mere, Professor N. Osborne and many other dignitaries in the department to demonstrate various interventional procedures or to teach advances and nuances in neuroradiology. He had to leave the department due to personal reason. Later he came back and joined KIMS Trivandrum for a short stint and then moved to KMC Manipal. At KMC he has established interventional radiology services including interventional neuroradiology. At KMC he took the superannuation. Now he is settled in Hyderabad. During my visit to Hyderabad, I make a point to see him and get his blessings. I enjoy his and Madam's warm hospitality. I thank him from bottom of my heart to save me and my career. I pray to Almighty God for him and his family a healthy and peaceful life in the time ahead. My best wishes. I take this opportunity to thank the Department of Imaging Science and Interventional Radiology to arrange this program to honor him and others from the department. I wish all success to this program. Jai Hind, Vande Mataram.
I'd like to invite Professor Santosh Joseph sir to share a few words.
Very good morning to all of you. It's indeed a great pleasure and very enjoyable moment on this momentous occasion. In fact, I remember that the days in which in my career probably the most enjoyable period was the time from which I have worked for 15 years in Sri Chitra Institute right from 1986 to 2002 when I left out to Sri Ramachandra Medical Center. But of course, he was an inspirer. I used to compare him like a MRI machine. MRI, a magnet, a great magnet is being put across your body. The field will align the persons around you or the protons around you, and then if you give some sort of a signal from outside, then it will gives out your own internal being inside. That was the capability of Dr. Rao, and that is why he is able to build up a team which is robust. Wherever you go, you can see the name of the persons whom we have associated with, whether it be Dr. Matthew Cherian, whether it be Madhavan Unni, or any persons in India, across the India who is doing good neurointerventional practice. You can see that it's been carried by Dr. Rao's student. It is basically because of his capability and magnetic personality. Truly during that time, of course, we have got an inspiring leader, like very inspiring leader, Dr. M.S. Valiyathan, currently Dr. Bihari, who is in the same role. And I remember that there was a first time in the world, history of world, the first biplane DSM machine was being brought. Nobody knows about that. He is in Sri Chitra Institute. When Dr. Picard and Moray came in 1989 after the satellite conference, there was a satellite conference here. They were here nearly around 2 weeks, initially doing cases here, and then subsequently they were giving lectures in the afternoon. Dr. Suresh Nair was also there during that time. And that time they were telling that they didn't have that sort of an equipment. They are using some subtracted and sort of puck changes and all. So here, after a lot of discussion, but Dr. M.S. Valiyathan has stood it was around 3 or 4 years, 3 or 4 months of discussion, and finally we have placed the order with Siemens, the Digitron. And from where only it has been established truly the first 5 years, 89 to 93, before he left unfortunately to Gulf countries. In fact, we have been there, Madam was there all the time. I had a small occasion in which I was around 2 months in Gulf, and Rao sir and family has supported me enough, although I didn't like the way in which it is working in Gulf. Not only that, he is the tremendous capability of innovating things, ideas and innovations. So that way we are only a part and parcel of that event which has happened, along with the whatever legendary he has carried out. And I take this opportunity to thank you, sir, on behalf of everything. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Now I invite Professor Suresh Nair, sir, former head Department of Neurosurgery, Sri Chitra.
Give me the opportunity to come here. Even if you had not invited, I would have come today definitely to honor Professor Rao. And I can claim that, I know Rao from 1979, much before any one of you. Like Ravi Mandalam and all, I saw age has caught up with all my old colleagues. But I know Professor Rao from 1979. I will make it very brief. So those days, it's Rajinikanth, it's called Vedular Rajinikanth Rao. Rajinikanth means Lord of Night. He was not Lord of Night, Lord of Night and Day. Two Rajinikanths we know. One is Rajinikanth of movie. It's synonymous with the best actor in Tamil Nadu or probably in India. The other Rajinikanth, Vedular Rajinikanth, synonymous with the best neuroradiologist of I have to tell the globe, but of course in India. So I will start years back in 79. I joined as I had worked here for only 33 years. So 2 years as a small houseman, non-PG registrar, and 31 years as a faculty. So when I joined as a non-PG registrar in 79, I was like this FIFA World Cup, a football between Professor Rao here and George Matthews on the other side, because everything depended on, we don't have cross-sectional, we didn't have cross-sectional imaging. So everything depended on angiogram and ventriculogram to see whether there is a tumor here, there and all. He was so good, he used to tell, I couldn't even realize what he is talking of, a insular segment, then opercular coming like that and cortical. to have that three-dimensional concept. He had that time, I said, what he is talking? And you know, the Sylvian triangle has to come down or go up, or square shift, or round shift, or checkering effect. Was a master of that. And you know, I had the opportunity that time before I did my MCH of doing, I think he would have given me at least some angiograms to do and coronary ventriculogram. And before, when I went to, I think he should thank Professor George Matthews for imbibing him everything in neuroradiology. I think so. He was a very tough man in the department also, where I was the, spade state. The head of the department, Dr. George Matthews, then S.M. Pillai, he had not become a proper neurosurgeon. Then one Sister Xavier was there. All others were all spade 8 only. So George Matthews considered him as one of the biggest persons. I will tell you, there is a neuroradiology of the olden days. Professor Rao used to sit in the front in that overhead projector. He used to present all the cases. And there was a day when George Matthews also is a very humble man. So one case there was some disagreement and he was not very happy. He became very unhappy. So what Professor Matthew told, that is not the behavior I expect from the best neuroradiologist of the country. This is precisely the answer George Matthews told. So what admiration everybody had for him. And then I came back in after my neurosurgery residency. And in between there were 2 people to help him. One Bhatt and other person was one Ravi Kumar. Am I correct? So slowly they started replacing him for Saturday presentation. Excellent. I don't know what is happening now. We used to learn, and I also used to imbibe so many bad qualities of Dr. Rao and of course something from him also to rag the residents. And then I came back here and then only Santosh Joseph, Madhavan Unni, Srinivas Rao, Ravi Mandalam had joined in between, and what a department we had. So it was a great fun working with them, and especially with Professor VRK Rao to make it on a lighter note. So we have our technology wing at Pujapura. So one day I think we went there, I don't know for what. On our return, I don't know whether I was driving the car or whether we were in the institute vehicle. He said, we'll stop somewhere at University College. And then he went and purchased some pan. He used to love pan. And he said, why don't you take one? He had already started chewing. So I was chewing that. I barely managed to reach the hospital. Because I never liked pan also. But what fun we had, sir. All good days, and I think it should be credited with everything which has happened in this institute. Not to talk of Kesavadas, Bijoy and Jayadev, and wherever I go, if you mention their name, they are carrying your legacy presently everywhere in the globe. They have also taken this Department of Imaging Sciences to height. Very recently, a week before last, I was in Nepal. They were talking of Kesavadas and Bijoy. I was amazed. They are in Kathmandu. So that much admiration I have for all of you. And thank you very much, sir, for coming and receiving this award. And I wish you many, many, many years of healthy, fruitful, happy life. Nice to see your daughter and son. I have seen them as small kids. Used to cycle also between Kumarapuram and your house. And they used to get down at Kumarapuram and walk all the way to your house. And evening I used to see them cycling also. And now I can see them there and become tall boy. And I think you are the son, no? And daughter I met now. Okay, all the best to all of you and Mrs. Rao also. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
Now may I request Professor Madhavan Unni sir to deliver few words for us, sir.
Good morning to all. I think all good things have been said about Rao's so far, and there is nothing much left for me to speak about. But as I remember, when I was doing my MD Radiology in Medical College Trivandrum, I was doing with Santosh Joseph. our professor of neurosurgery, Dr. Sambashivan, and team used to come to radiology department to get their angiograms done, cerebral angiograms. So that time he was telling to our teachers and our professors, why don't you start doing neuroradiology work like Dr. Rao who is doing in Srijitra? Why we should come and do angiograms in your department? So that is the time when I have started hearing the name VRK Rao, and when we were doing our MD, at that time only the first CT scan came to Sri Chitra, and big discussion in our department. It is a neuro department. Why are they going for a whole body CT scan? We should have, in fact, it have come to Medical College Trivandrum. So to learn the cross-sectional imaging and CT scan, we used to visit in our afternoon hours. Medical college work starts by about 2 o'clock, and later on in the afternoons, we used to go to Rao sir and Ravi sir to learn radiology, CT scan in that old Hitachi machine. So it was a good time. From then onwards, he has been a leader, teacher, and a mentor for all of us. And when I joined Sri Chitra, it was a dream coming true to work under him and proceed. What to say further? All the other things, all the descriptions have been told by our previous speakers. I don't have anything much to add. Thank you, sir, for the leadership which you have given. And you have to remember that all these developments which he made into the department happened in the the pre-Narasimha Rao era, that is pre-liberalization era, and things were not easy to come to a government hospital. And he managed to, with the help of course, Dr. Professor Veliyathan, who was a legendary leader, he used to bring in the best of equipment and best of things to the hospital in spite of governmentary regulations and all those things. That was a significant factor. And the academics which he has wanted us to continue, the presentations, the stage presentations as well as the international publications which he and Dr. V. Mandalam sir has pushed us to do, all those things really shaped our career well. Then in fact, after he has left Sri Chitra, he had gone to Middle East. I followed him and I was in Middle East for nearly 10 years, and then he came back to India and he joined KIMS. I also came back and joined KIMS. So I was following him literally to wherever he has gone. And thank you, sir, for all the help, all the leadership. And whatever I say, I think it will be only a cliche now to do. It was a nice occasion, and thank you for coming and accepting the medal of Indian Society of Neuroradiology. And in fact, I had a short presentation. I don't know whether you have time. I have, because sir has published in two. Yeah, because I didn't do anything. I gave this to two or three, I think. Two of the articles which he has published, and one published by Dr. Veliyathan sir. So I gave it to Notebook LM, and he has created a curriculum. So this is the sum and substance of the two articles which you have published about the history of neuroradiology in Sri Chitra Tirunala Institute. I didn't do anything. I have given your two articles to the Notebook LM, and Notebook LM has created this presentation for me. I don't have anything to say. You can just go slide by slide. Yeah. The foundational radiologist there is supposed to be Dr. Mahadevan Pillai, and the director is Dr. Veliyathan. So, yeah. So these are the two people. Professor Mahadevan Pillai, who was the first pioneer or started neuroradiology in Chitra, followed by Rao sir, and Dr. Veliyathan, who gave all the permissions and all the freedom to do the investigations. Next. So these are the critical stages. 77, the diagnosed and fluoroscopy system installed. 80, the first free flow cerebral AVM embolization was done. 83 whole body CT scan was come, 86 the super selective AV embolization and subclavian angioplasty was done, 90 the laser angioplasty, and then 94 1.5 Tesla MRI has come. So and these are all the things which you have mentioned, the puncture, the direct carotid puncture, the sliding manual changer, and the Mimer 3 somersault, and the 3D vision, which of course Suresh Nair was telling. Next. Then the myodal phantoplate myelography, then metrisemide myelography, and the air myelography, and the collapsing cord for syringomyelia. Okay, go back, go. And then the endovascular intervention came. That was the first probably in India, neuro interventions. Free flow embolizations, and then the first free flow embolizations, then the endpoints determined by the patient's response, whether he is responding or not. He was given a handheld balloon to see if he is responding or not after the embolization, to stop when you stop embolization. Next. Then the development of hydrogel, that is the elastic embospheres by the help of Dr. Jayakrishnan, who was a polymer scientist, and he was in the our biomedical wing. Next. And that is the French connection when Louis Picard and Jacques Moret came to Sri Chitra Tirunal Institute, Dr. Rao and Dr. Picard and Revis are sitting there. Then this is the fabricated, this kind of a free flow chamber was fabricated. It was very difficult to get from the international market. So this was fabricated by our biomedical technology wing, where the free flow catheter mobilization. You didn't have directed microcatheters. Next. So that is how we used to inject the balloon tip catheter, calibrated leak balloon catheter for AV embolizations. The balloon will stop the antigrade flow, and through the calibrated leak, the embolic material was injected into the AVM. And then the aortoarthritis studies, advanced techniques for kissing balloon technique, all those things, crossover applications, which are actually simple things now because everybody does. But those days when we used to cross over to the opposite side, from front femoral puncture to cross over to the iliac and go to the distal SFA and all, was something unimaginable at that time. So those things were started. Next. Then these are the indigenous materials of embolization. We used to create from guide wires, and from the guide wire coatings you used to create that embolic coils, and then using a welder, a spot welder, you created stents which are to be deployed, and the initial stent was applied to a canine model, a dog, and then it was studied under electron microscope how the neointima forms into that, and that was all exciting experience. So then the laser angioplasty, that was a big dream, but I don't know how far it has succeeded, the usefulness of laser in medicine. It was a big dream for Dr. M.S. Veliyathan. And then the institute launched the first postdoctoral certificate course, and many students have come, and all of them have dissipated to various parts of India and the world, and they are doing wonderfully well. So the core philosophy, true medical innovation is not merely the purchase of technology, it happens at the raw intersection of clinical courage, engineering resourcefulness, and unwavering institutional support. So that was the sum and substance of the 2 articles which he has published in the IS&IR journal. Thank you, sir, for all the thing, and I wish you all the best, good health, peaceful life. Thank you so much.
Now I request Professor Unni Krishnan sir, former head, Department of Cardiovascular Surgery.
First thing first, good morning still to Dr. Sanjay, Dr. VRK Rao, and it's I consider it a great privilege and immensely delighted to be part of this meeting for several reasons. Firstly, our department, that is, I still consider SCT as ours only, my alma mater. The 50 years of tremendous work, global standard work in the hospital, and also the first gold medal ever by the Society of Interventional Radiology to Professor VRK Rao. In fact, when I joined in 1982, March 15th, to be the first MCH student of Sri Chitra Institute among 8 of us doing DM and MCH, we met Dr. Rao because it was a small group, only few students, most of the staff members. I found him not as a colleague like Suresh or other doctors are mentioning, because Ravi Mandalam was in charge of mostly vascular. He used to come occasionally to have a discussion and others. I think it's a iconic combination of radiologist, scientist and innovator. And the way you have thought of the hydrogel particles for embolization and the coil embolization, there were only people you can count on your one hand fingers across the globe. So that is the kind of the dream, imagination, and what you have left in Sri Chitra, they are continuing very well. And congratulations for your celebrations, for your award day, and it's a great opportunity to meet you, sir. And thank you very much for having me, although I'm slightly on the outsider kind of fellow. Thank you.
Now I request Professor Swati Halbe ma'am to share few words with us.
Good morning. First of all, thank you very much Keshav and Vijay for inviting us here. It is such a great occasion because first it is 50 years of our department, and more icing on the cake is gold medal for our Professor Dr. Rao. Because of him, most of us are having careers made in our lives, and we all owe it to him. Everybody has said all good things about sir. Only one thing nobody has mentioned is that he is a great artist. He draws and paints very well, and I have witnessed his drawings in his house, and he is really a great artist. What I can tell you now is that when I joined Sri Chitra in 1992, it was such a great sense of achievement when I joined here, because you know, this was the only post-MD course available in the entire country for radiology that time. So to get here was so difficult, 3-level entrance exam, then sir taking almost like MD type viva, and the as a second stage, then third stage board viva with all the head of the departments and all that. So it was a really great sense of achievement. And after I joined, sir told me that I was the first lady to enter the radiology department of Sri Chitra. He said somehow later he told me that he was very skeptical about the lady working in the department, because he thought always they will be taking excuses that today my husband is sick, tomorrow child is sick, I can't do this, I can't do that, you do this for me, but you proved me wrong. So I was feeling very delighted, and I still remember that. And later one of my MD colleague was doing Sri Chitra course before. So he told me, if they offer you the faculty post, that means you are really good. And you won't believe it, I still remember the place that there is, from the library when we come down, there is a lift. Near that lift, when I was coming down, sir told me after almost 6 months were over, that what are you going to do after 1 year course is over? I said, I don't know, because I've left Maharashtra government job and come here. I don't know what to do. So he said, I'll talk to Dr. Valiathan if there is a faculty post, otherwise I'll ask him to create ad hoc post, but you are very good, we should not lose you, you should be staying here. So I still feel that was a great certificate I achieved, though it was verbal certificate, sir. And going about the strictness of sir is, only Wednesdays and Saturdays we used to get DSA lab. The rest of the days cardiologists used to take that Siemens lab. So Wednesday we had to start cases at 7, and starting case at 7 means femoral artery has to be punctured at 7 and sheath has to be inside, because at 7 sir will open the door and say good morning, and somebody's artery should be spurting the blood that time. Now how to manage this, because you know all the hospitals eternally they take long time to shift the patient from ward to theatre or ward to lab. So what my trick was, you know, from Chitra quarters I used to come to our medical college ground for jogging. Then when I finish the jogging, I'll come to that sentry, our guard's office, where intercom was there. Through that intercom, I used to call neurosurgery ward and tell the first patient, shift the patient immediately. Then they will say yes. I'll go home, take bath and come. By the time patient will come, so when 7 o'clock sir says, are you ready? Then yes, I'm ready with my first puncture inside. Actually, when that time there was no internet, nothing, no. So only newspapers were the thing that where all advertisements used to come. So finally, one advertisement came that we need interventional radiologists from Chennai, one of the Tamil Nadu hospitals. So everybody in the department was excited because first time somebody was seeing this advertisement where they need interventional radiologists. So they all encouraged and they said, no, no, you should go for this interview and all that. So I said, sir, but how will I do everything alone? I mean, such a credit to him and Ravi sir that I was so young and small, then they are telling me that no, 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 you can do everything. No, I said, sir, when you are standing behind, I am doing everything, not alone. Who will be there for me? We are just one phone call away. If difficult case, call us. We will fly and come to you to Chennai and we will help you to do case and all that. And they really kept a word in a way that though sir left Trivandrum and he went to Abu Dhabi, by the time I started in Chennai, that time there was no internet and mail. Every case I used to draw picture, send a fax to sir that I have planned this is my strategy, is it correct? Immediately next fax the answer used to come from him, yes, 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 but just take care of this, take care of that. So once I was doing something through intercostal artery, so he wrote below, this is not internal carotid artery, intercostal artery, so even if it gets dissected, don't worry, like that. So much of things, and once CCF came, so I asked sir, CCF has come now, how to do it? What? Attach the balloon to the catheter, go there and put the balloon in that rent, it will get closed. I said, sir, you are talking as if you have to take a balloon, go to Marina Beach, fly the balloon for some time and come. It is so difficult, but he made things and he encouraged so much throughout that hardly any teacher will do. And when I was going from here, they said, one day you have to fly with your own wings. So why not tomorrow? Don't stay here. If you stay in Chitra, you will be learning to be under our wings and you will never learn to fly. So go. You have got a job in Chennai, you go and start working. And my mind was still here. I was feeling like how a girl gets married and goes to some unknown place. No? So though just 1 year in Chitra, I was feeling so attached here. And then by the time sir also was leaving, so Ravi sir said, I promise you when they advertise the jobs, I said, sir, I don't know whether I'll get in newspaper. He said, I'll send you letter that the advertisement has come. He kept his word. Maybe it must be 1.5, 2 years I was in Chitra. I still have that inland letter from Ravi sir saying that Chitra jobs are advertised. But if you ask me, never fly in backward direction, fly in the same direction, don't come back to Chitra, keep flying in Chennai only. And thank you sir, for you, and because of you and Ravi sir, I am still flying in Chennai very well. I owe it all to you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for all those beautiful and inspiring words. Now I request Professor VRK Rao sir to deliver few inspiring words to all of the previous and present presidents and faculty dignitaries on this institute, sir.
Suresh, correct me. ബഹുമാനപ്പെട്ട സുഹൃത്തുക്കളെ, I made a point to make a point that probably I'm a son of the soil here because I came here, I don't say conquered, but I came here. I built up my family and I built a home. So I deemed it, Trivandrum or Kerala rather, is my home even today. So that's why I wanted to address, in my addressing all of you, that's why I asked Suresh Pakka Malayali to correct my Malayalam. And it's my responsibility, duty rather, to address august audience here. We have the director of the institute, then the unique situation today, we have the president and the secretary of the Indian Society of Neuroradiology who have flew down all the way for this event. And it so happened, as they were mentioning to me already, But my association with them was pretty long. May not be as much as Suresh's. I remember Suresh and we traveling in the bus to Madurai for the conference, where you were a student at the time, doing MCH, when he came to Madurai meeting, yes. So, with this, and we have Professor Keshav Das. I'm so glad. I begged him, pleaded him, this paper should go. He says, no sir, no it won't, it's not adequate, I don't think it is. I said, we'll make it, accept it. The editors will accept, and we co-authored and published it. A good article on that, on COVID I suppose. It's a very good article on COVID and its sequelae, and some of the references on post-mortem appearances after COVID, autopsy reports, which are rare reports, about close to 17, 18 patients. I laid down hands on that paper, and as a reference, Keshav encouraged me. So Keshav Das, I am very thankful to you. Dr. Sanjay, I have been longing to meet you, and it's a great occasion you made me. And Vivek is here, I understand. Dr. Vivek, yes. We spoke to each other on some occasion. We'll meet later. So with this address, I would say that we are grateful, as already mentioned, ever grateful to the royal family of Travancore, specifically the last ruler of Maharaja Sri Chitra Tirunal Balarao Varma, for his very, very generous establishment of this edifice. And we heard about Srimati Parvati Sethupadubai. On her name, the surgical block was constructed. And prior to that, we had only the medical block, both together. I keep shifting from thoughts to thoughts. Before I forget, I want to say, I was remembering the first department in India, rather maybe in many, many departments across the world, as that Valayathan agreed. He allotted 2 beds, 2 clinical beds in a general neurology ward, which never happened till then, 1983 or 84. We should take pride with great responsibility and commitment to take rounds. And my team following me and continuously looking after the patients day and night. I didn't do much. They are the people who did. All this glory is not for me. It is because of them. It is their labor, their efforts. The team whom you have shown here, Srinivas Rao, Unni, Santoshe Madalali, that is, he is my close friend, brother, and many others, many, not to mention. As a surgical resident, you know, his chief was there, not chief is Dr. George Matthews. After a couple of demonstrations, they said, okay, why can't you do it yourself? We are busy in the operation room. Lo and behold, Dr. George Matthews said, this is how we do the drill, twist drill. So show me. And then onwards he did not come. I was putting in the needle, drilling under local anesthesia and finished the case, and he was happy. Same thing like Dr. Raman, P.T. Raman, neurologist. First few cases he used to come and do himself as a neurologist. I said, why? We are here. Why can't we do it here? So he tested our strength. He said, okay, I'll stand here, do it. Show me how you do it. So with confidence I did it, and they said, okay then. So you don't go there, don't disturb radiology. So we have set up our own rights in our own department, and freedom and independence, and with that confidence we moved ahead. And at Valethan, when he did this, a word to our cardiologist friend, cardiac surgeons. As a cardiac surgeon himself, he said, one day I went and showed him an occlusion block of the vessel, subclavian artery of about 50 years old man. He is getting pain, continuous pain, claudication. So we did angiogram, showed the picture. I took to him his office. Oh, picture is good, yes. Then I said, if you allow me, this is your patient. I do angioplasty. What is that? I said, yes. We'll put a balloon and open it up without surgery. Okay. I said, we posted tomorrow day after some, and anesthetist would come. Pattu Padmanaban was attending the anesthesia. And then I showed him the result, outcome. And at that time, I took the gradients. Pull through gradient, proximal to distal, and he was flabbergasted. What? You can take the gradients across, and I opened the vessel also. Then Nilkantan, he called him. He is a surgeon in charge. So why do you operate in these cases? Why do you operate unnecessarily? And they are doing, I said, sir, we just did once. We'll be able to do, if you give us opportunity, we'll take care of the patient. Yes. But also I said, if we'll end in problem, if I have difficulty, you have to help us. Because you are the surgeon. And there's nothing like my patient, your patient. It's our patient. Not even our patient, it is Chitra's patient. It's like a baby, Chitra's baby. So no showing responsibility. We made a point very clear, and he really appreciated Professor Valethan. So he was the one who initiated and he encouraged. He said, go ahead, do it, show the results. And of course I had to, again suddenly remember something across my thoughts. I used to take classes, lectures to students from medical college. Santosh and Unni were in medical college, they were just completing their MD program. And that was the time, a couple of years later, somehow the Department of Anatomy in medical college across, they came to know that they can listen to my lectures on neuroanatomy, which will be in their curriculum for second, third years. And who was responsible? There she is sitting there, Dr. Shobha. And she was the faculty in anatomy. And one day she brought all the colleagues, all the students, about 40 of them, they filled the auditorium. I was amazed. So I started taking them frequently, classes in anatomy. Yeah, another thought now comes. When I said the auditorium was full, yes, my thought comes here now. Keshav was a little concerned last night. And he said, sir, you may not get many people, and they'll be there. But then I'm a little worried, and all of us coming. We have the president of the Neuro Society, and Dr. Sanjay is there, everybody. So it's insulting if we don't fill the hall. So I said, don't worry. I flew down my own team to claps. Hey, clap, clap. So, yeah, that's right, clap. Yes. So I said, my son-in-law, Mr. Prashant, daughter Indu, many of you are familiar, right from your childhood. You very well described, you remember so well, your memory is so good. I thought you are good in only in all these things and poor in neurosurgery, but you did very well. So, and we, so that apart, that Valethan's encouragement was really great to bring this into fold. I should say that I am deeply honored and overwhelmed by this recognition. I share this distinction and pleasure with my team members, as I mentioned just now a little while ago. And I clearly acknowledge, very much acknowledge, the contribution to the patient care. And not to mention, it's more than that, worthy mentioning. There are two people today I see, Sharifa, Rama, the sister, Sri Kumari, she is our senior technologist. And these are the people. I should also mention those who have not come here, the other staff like Vishnay, we call Vishnay, Ravi, then these are many whom I cannot, they're missing here, who are not today. So, it is very, very appropriate now. Undi has shown, which I did not bring any pictures, of Professor Mahadevan Pillai. He was the first radiologist who was in Zambia, and he came here. He is Malayali, retired professor, worked in various places before coming to Kerala. Tamil Nadu, Madras Government Hospital, the medical college is a government there. Bernard Institute, that's right. So, and he studied his medicine in Andhra Pradesh, Medical AMC, Andhra Medical College, Visakhapatnam, where I was a student. I studied there. So this is nearly 100 years ago, that is, and that is the oldest college in Andhra Pradesh, Andhra Medical College. It was called Andhra Medical School. And the examiners were, some of them are British or Americans, some of them. Dr. Cooper, somebody Stanley, these kind of people. So they were examiners to us also. So they said, we can't fly, there's no flights anyway. We can't travel all the way. So you come. So students had to go by train to take exams. So that time, Professor Mahadevan Pillai was a student there and is very fluent in Telugu. It's almost something like I addressed he would call everybody, Eda, Poda, like that he used to say. He didn't know the respectful, he didn't realize that, but he's a very old man. He was fond of cricket. Even today, I am zero in cricket, even today, me. And he would come with a transistor. What are you doing? Angiogram? Oh, go ahead. And then he'll walk away. He just won't bother. He is worried in cricket and score. He'll say, I don't know, sir. No, I don't remember, I don't know. So, Professor Mahadevan Pillai's photograph was appropriately shown here as the first and foremost radiologist here. And everything he would always see from a distance and he'll appreciate, yeah, you're doing well, and he'll go. So that's our association. Of course, we have witnessed Ravi Mandalam, then Gupta, so on and so forth, everybody. They came on Zoom call. It's wonderful. I should say that it's often a very compelling experience and grueling experience often. which is of course often complemented with gratitude and admiration. So then today, as I have to mention again and again, we are grateful to have us both, the President and General Secretary together, Matthew, Cherian and Naveen, from the Indian Society of Radiology, which has conferred on me the award. Yeah, now again another thought that whenever an opportunity arises, where is Matthew? He will take the opportunity to tell everybody that about my acting experiences. Where is he? He could show a bit of acting. So really, that was the time I disappeared from the department for 1 month. The other facet. And I went to Dr. Valayathan, director. You should learn from Dr. Valayathan. So what he said is, oh, you want to leave? Sir, 1 month. How long? 1 month. Why? He said, I got a role in acting, in a movie. You must go. You must go. 1 month he gave me leave. And he vanished without telling anybody. Ravimandalam was taking care. I don't tell anybody that I'm acting in a movie. And it's anticlimax anyway. The can still remain, the movie remained in the cans, what you call small cans still. And any Gulf people who returned here, recently returned, they can afford to buy that movie and cans and complete the movie rest of it. Because you got to afford. So anyway, that's a great experience for me. And my son was just born. He was 3 months or 2 months when I was in the acting spree at the time. So we have completed 50 years of radiology, 50 in the institute here. And it's very, very appropriate. This is most important, Dr. Sanjay. But very important matter for the administrator, as an administrator, as a clinician and everything. Remember, it's very, very appropriate because this great institution, when it was being planned, 70s, 73, 72, 72 like that. I came in 77, 2 years before that. It was being planned by executive committee. There was a lot of interest in several people, giants in different fields, neurosurgeons, neurologists. They wanted to positions secure in this institute. Building is coming up with a central government support and Maharaja's support, etc. So from medical college and other places like Kottayam, other near places, there is a committee, executive committee, and so there was an important issue came. The question came, not issue, question. The question is, was there really a need for a separate radiology department in this institute? Yes, this happened, because this is what Dr. Malayathan told me. Is there a need for a radiology department? He said, after all, clinician's house. We are doctors. Why a photographer here? I think that's how I look at the question issue raised at that point, at those days, 70 years ago. There are interests. So this question was raised. Why do you need a radiology department or a radiologist in a center focused mainly on the brain and heart issue problems? There were different opinions at that time, many. But Dr. Valayathan, he stood on his ground and he had a great vision and clarity. He strongly opposed that phrase and he created the Department of Radiology. At the point of creation of a department, he put his foot down and he said, no, radiology is most important. And we think of anything, development, birth of radiology is because of him. So that's once a secret which I was told by him once. The great people in the committee, they objected to, but he said, no, it's necessary, radiology. Another thought is, when this came, I must also say, I was finishing my MD radiology from Benares, BHU. When I was finishing that, somebody asked me, colleagues, where do you go, what do you do? I said, there is an advertisement in a central government institute down south. I never heard of it, Thiruvananthapuram. So I had an offer, and a fantastic offer. Those days, 4-figure salary we used to call. We used to call 4-figure salary. 2,300 rupees all told. And my professor himself was SK Gupta, my guy. He himself was drawing 800 rupees in BHU. So my exam was due another 2 months. And exam was going on. Dr. O.P. Bharadwaj and somebody was their examiners. So I was doing pretty well in radiology at the time, not in before that, but I was doing very well at that time. So Professor Gupta said, look, this boy is doing very well. Ask him any question. He'll do very well. They asked some question, I did all right. Then I said, no, not only that, he is getting a 4-figure salary down south, another 3 months, offer has come. We can't fail him now. So, that is my point of success. I got it done, and the exams went on very well. But the point was, I missed the point. Some people asked me, why do you want to go to neuroradiology? That center says only cardiac and neuro. And my interest was neuro because my thesis was in neuro angiography. 100 angiograms I did myself that time, percutaneous. So, why do you want to? See, you won't survive anywhere because you won't get any jobs if you are a neuroradiologist. There is no potential for any neuroradiologist. It's a super specialization. And it doesn't exist in India. So you're aiming for it. So no, I'm interested in the topic. So the subject, I love it. So there is an opportunity, equipment, and somebody is giving, I'll go. So the moral is that it's a providential, the opportunities are available, given, provided, and that I took it up. And rest is all by my colleagues, the nursing staff who are sitting there, and I also said the darkroom assistants. And Fadke, yes, Fadke, he learnt a lesson of technique of subtraction without DSA. He taught me. The developer tank, you put it only 10%, sir, and then you put it in a small mug, you do it. So that's how we did subtraction, learned from him. So I had such a great help, my teachers. They are my teachers. He taught me. And there's another teacher whom I want to say, mention here sitting to me. Suresh is my teacher. He showed me the drill, twist drill. And Pillai, he was a neurosurgeon, but they taught me this. And they left the scene. I used to do myself. One day the twist drill fell from my hands. I took it here and there. I took it and in a spirit I just cleaned. And neurosurgeon won't do it. Then he has to wash it and again postpone the case because he wants an excuse to postpone. So I said, no, I got to finish it, and I did that was still on the floor. I picked it up. Immediately, no time. So that's how some musings of what thoughts come to that. And the institute today has become an integral part, advanced institute in different imaging modalities. Yes, I expected a question from some of you. Anyway, don't bother me with questions because I may not be able to answer. But one thing before a question, I tell you, which is the most moment you cherished in the intervention or diagnostic, whatever it is. As a surgeon, as a neurosurgeon, the first time the MIMER equipment was there, tomography facility, we could demonstrate collapsing spinal cord in syringomyelia, which is only shown written in the books. And you people start doing shunts, syringosperital shunts and all. See? So, that was the greatest satisfaction that an imaging, we could demonstrate that a diagnostic tool, an outcome, and the surgeons could go on, take a decision on that and manage the patient. So, I should also, concluding my speech closer to nearing lunchtime, one thing is that it's my privilege to serve this institute, premier institute, recognized by Parliament as an institution of national importance. That's the unique nature of this institute. And Indira Gandhi, Morarji Desai, then ex-ambassador to, I can't tell the names, 3-4 people, they came to the institute. So, we had this opportunity to interact very intimately with biomedical engineers at the Research and Development Wing, a unique institute which is in both medical and engineering under one roof. There are material scientists, toxicologists, veterinary surgeons, Dr. Vedanarayanan, mechanical engineers, perfusion technologists and other specialists. And Ramani, I think he will be invited. He is the pioneer, premier, first head of the biomedical engineering technology head, Ramani. So service, research and teaching, in that order we say, that's what we think of, consider, and they are the true legacy we leave behind. May we all continue to serve with compassion, integrity, and humility. I am the witness, pure witness, and ever free, untouched by action, meaning I am not the doer. Say to yourself, I am not the doer. Once again, I am grateful for this honor. Keshav and Neurosurgery Society NSI President and Naveen is gone. They're, I think, in the airport already. And I thank you all very much. Thank you for your patient timing, and I think I completed in time, finish the lunch time, right? Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you once again. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor VRK Rao, sir. Thank you so much for the incredibly insightful and inspiring address. And it's time to honor the legendary teachers we have together with us. And I request Professor Bijay Thomas, sir, and Professor Jayadevan, sir, to come onto the stage. and at the same time it's our due respect to the technicians, technologists and the nursing staff who are actively involved in patient care. May now request these legendary technologists and nursing staff to receive their honor. And may now first request Mrs. Sharifa ma'am, can you please come onto the stage? And now may I request Professor Keshav sir to do your vote of thanks. Thank you.
Never thought, sir, so many people will come. It's your magnet. That's what Santosh sir told. No, you are like a magnet. Sir was never my teacher in the university sort of thing, because I was in medical college, and when I got MD Radiology, when I joined the Trivandrum Medical College, there was only a 1000 mA machine and ultrasound which was working occasionally. I was just thinking, no exposure to CT, nothing on interventional radiology, but we were lucky that your team was here in Sri Chitra and Shashidharan sir's team was there in Regional Cancer Center. Actually, it was they who actually inspired us to take up radiology and go forward. Dr. Shrikant Murthy, Jayakrishnan, myself, we three were there as students. And those days there was this Trivandrum Radiology Club. And in one of the Trivandrum Radiology Club meetings, I was asked to present on my thesis, which was on congenital anomalies of the brain. And then naturally I came to Sri Chitra, and there was one case of holoprosencephaly. I don't know whether sir remembers about that. And then I went and showed the sir, what do you think about this case? And then he explained to me. Then he took me to his room. He took AJNR, American Journal of Neuroradiology, whole issue on congenital anomalies, at that time written by Naidich and Barkovich. And then he told me, well, you read all these things, go and meet Dr. Swati, get that extra transparencies from her, and you present it in today's Trivandrum Club. I don't know whether you remember that. I presented it in that meeting. And after 2 days, I went there. I was not very happy about my presentation, but when I went there and asked sir, then he told, what poor presentation did you do? Is this how you present it? You should have used it, during those days it was transparencies and overhead projector. But nobody had criticized me till then. Then I understood that how you should do things. That criticism was so useful for me, that from that day onwards I understood and tried to look at how presentations have to be done. So even today, when I go for many conferences and I am asked, who is your role model? I speak about Rao sir and Keshavan sir. Keshavan sir was my teacher there, Rao sir. And you know why I say that? Because he is like Dronacharya and I am like Ekalavya. You were not directly teaching me, but I could, the two things which actually I liked about you is you are very stern, at the same time very loving. Because even after you left, you had contacts with me. So that was something which usually no heads of departments or senior people keep. You still had contacts. We wrote the COVID paper together, all because of your interest. And that was something we have to learn from you. The second thing is your leadership. Because right from those days, we knew that this is a person who was taking around his department so well. And there are a lot of things that you can learn from sir. So sir, I am very happy that you are here. I am happy that so many people have come. So many of people who worked with us are here. And it is all because of you. You agreed to come here and take the ISNR award. And this is also our first alumni meet. We plan to have regular meetings from now on. And this is the best way that we can start the alumni meet, honoring Professor VRK Rao. Thank you very much, sir. I thank the director. Immediately agreed, because right from the time when he had joined, he told you should call Dr. VRK Rao. So he had told me to call few people. One is Dr. RK Gupta. Then he had asked me to call Professor Jagannathan and Professor VRK Rao. I have promised, that promise has been, all the three people we have called here and honored them. And again, thank you, sir, for coming for this meeting. And all my teachers, Santosh sir, then Madhurani sir, Dr. Srinivas Rao. Actually, Ravi Mandalam sir left before I joined. Actually, I joined in Ravi Mandalam sir's place, but still during those MD days, radiology days, and we used to come here and learn from all of you. Gupta ji, we are really missing him. He also was an inspiration for all of us. My going abroad, and after that Bijay going abroad and getting fellowship and all, he had a very big role, and we have to thank him. And all our nursing staff, baby sister, Rajamani sister, Rama sister, these are the people who actually teach us how to puncture, go with the catheters, guide wires, and our senior radiographers, all of them. Thanks for coming for this occasion. This is the right way that we can start the alumni meet. Suresh Nair sir and Uni sir, again big thanks for coming. And this whole program would not have been possible for the faculty members in the department. Also, two people I'll have to tell, there may be people I'm missing, but one is Mahesh. Mahesh is a star in our department. He knows how to organize events. And as usual, he was given the charge of organizing this event, and he has done a wonderful job. And our youngest faculty, Dr. Ajay. Dr. Ajay, by the way, is Alexa's son. He has joined our department as a faculty. So he's, Alexa was, I had called Alexa also, but unfortunately he was busy and he could not come. Alex Itivara. So we are very thankful to all of you who have come here. Thank you once again. Let's have a wonderful lunch after this. Thank you very much, sir.
May I now request everyone to please get together here for a photography session. Thank you.